If we want to be successful in reducing people's risk of developing cancer, we have to learn how to communicate better. Long before children toy phones were all over the place, children played with this special type of phone. As simple as this game was, it still is a great metaphor for the basic communication model. You have someone who wants to share a message, someone to share it with, and a channel to do so. Communication can at times seem complicated, but with the basic communication model, you can have a easy to use instrument to help you improve the chances of effective communication. It is a useful tool for all communication objectives, including communication about diet, lifestyle, and cancer. The basic communication model works as follows. You have a sender and a receiver, perhaps several receivers at the same time. The second wants the receiver to think, feel, or do something. The sender encodes what he wants to communicate in words, images, concepts, creating a message. Then the sender transmits the message to the receiver through a communication channel. Examples range from a self written note in class to a mass multimedia communication campaign. Once the message reaches the receiver, it is decoded, meaning that the receiver tries to interpret it and understand what it means. If the information processed by the receiver is in line with what the sender intended, the communication was effective. The challenge is that this process does not always go well. Sometimes errors occur. These errors can occur in every step of the communication process. Are there ways to combat these errors? Yes, I'll be sharing tips for each type of error to help you along the way. First of all, the sender might encode the message in an ineffective way. An example of this is when someone writes an article about diet and cancer that is too difficult for the readers. This is a very common problem. Researchers, especially, are notorious for using difficult wording, assuming that this is simple enough for the general public. A possible solution is to have other people read your written piece of communication first, or summarize your message in an elevator pitch to a friend or a letter to see if you are being clear enough. Another error that might happen is that the channel chosen for the communication is inappropriate. For example, when someone places an advertisement for a booklet on physical activity for seniors in a magazine targeted at teenagers, always consider which communication channel is best suited to reach the targeted receiver. The better you know the receiver, the better you will be able to choose the right channel. Yet, another challenge for communication is when the receiver decodes the message incorrectly, interpreting something in a different way to what you meant. We all know that written communication can be difficult. Have you ever experienced that somebody got angry or upset by an email or text message you sent by interpreting it in a way you did not intend? To limit the chance of misinterpretation, keep the message as simple as possible. Try to limit ambiguity. For example, by avoiding multiple negations or the use of acronyms. At times, it is best to speak to someone instead of sending an email. Another challenge not to be underestimated is that there could be interference, also called noise, during the transmission. What happens here? As you have seen, noise can be technical. It can be external, but it can also be internal. An example of external noise is when the receiver is distracted by other thoughts, when he is tired or hungry and therefore does not process the information correctly or completely. Consider noise and how to avoid or limit it. When giving a presentation, make sure you can be heard well across the room by speaking louder or by using a microphone. Make sure that if you use presentation slides, the text is legible. Also consider the length of a presentation, meeting, or lecture to allow time for people to take a break in order to limit internal noise such as being tired or thinking about a break. Finally, bear in mind that the rules of sender and receiver are not static but interactive. When the receiver provides feedback, for example by answering a question, he then assumes the role of sender, meaning that the process starts all over again. As you can see, the basic model for communication can help you define the best approach to improve your chances of communicating effectively. This applies in all areas, especially in communication about diet, lifestyle, and cancer, where your target is to reach as many people as possible with your message. Thank you.